All right, young Jeezy. Yeah. 17.5, you know what the motherfucking business is? Snow. So, said they don't care about street credibility no more. Jeezy says street cred is no longer important to him. I don't need validation to be a real man. It never had. Street credibility was, it's a lot of rappers who are the most successful gangster rappers who never had street credibility. Come on. How many times do you get a rapper or get a person who can, artistically, create great, music or great, or you got great artistic skill can really, articulate that. How many times you get that in a gangster? You might get we done got math geniuses, we done got geniuses and gangsters and guys who we probably had, gangsters and drug dealers who basically had, and a lot of them had photographic memories and all that type of stuff, right? But how often do you get the complete package? How often do you get something? You get a gangster that can do all of that in one. It's rare. You know, some of the biggest rappers, bigger than him, didn't have no street credibility. And I guess people say, well, the push from Big Meech, you kind of got him over the hump and all. Look at Rick Ross. They say he was allegedly stealing his stories from the inmates when he was a correctional officer. It's where he got his persona and his whole name. He stole it from the real Freeway Ricky Ross. Think about that for a minute. So this is Jeezy said, he said street cred is no longer important to him. I don't need validation to be a real man. He said on Wednesday, Charlamagne the God saluted an Atlanta native for representing the streets throughout his career, but also praised him for growing up and understanding street cred doesn't matter. When asked if he remembered the time it started to click for him, Jeezy explained it happened when he went into these spaces with big rollers and saw they didn't care about his street resume. All right. He said, quote, I really think that when you start walking in these rooms, you try to do business, nobody really care about what you've done in the streets. And then as a man, you shouldn't care, Jeezy said, because what people think about me ain't none of my spiritual business. It's just not. But for me, I don't need validation by what you consider to be be real for me to be a real man. Okay. He said Jeezy brought up the time he and along with 6 people was arrested in 2014, Irvine, California, after a man was shot and killed backstage at the Under Influence Music Tour co-headlined by Snowman and Wiz Khalifa. No one was charged, but the brief time in jail made Jeezy think about what he was doing with his life. He said, quote, let's take the rapper and the artist out of it. And a lot of things I did because I was trying to get validation, Jeezy added. He said, I wanted people to know my issue. I'm doing this now. And the last time I got locked up in LA when I was in when that accident happened in the Bay, like that's when I really was like, yo, when I really like, quote, you got the world. You successful. You on tour. You doing 30,000 people a night and you in jail for what? I'm sitting there going like, I'm really throwing my whole career away. I'm trying to live a stereotype of a code. And if you go to prison, ain't none of these people finna send me money. They finna write me off. So he right about that. And that's kind of like being in school and have somebody peer pressure you to do something, to throw some paper, or peer pressure you to fight somebody. You know what I'm saying? Peer pressure to smoke some weed, to smoke some cigarettes. When y'all all get in trouble, you get expelled. When it all fall down, you're going to have to deal with the consequences on your own when you go home. Or they lock you up for something in school, you're going to sit in another cell eventually and think about them consequences. You know? That's the crazy thing about it. A lot of people just be trying to prove something to people to make a point, man. Nigga, you soft, man. And then the react, the actual action, the word is trying to get you to prove that you're not. Do you really gotta prove something? Prove somebody that prove to somebody what you are and what you ain't? No, time gonna reveal that anyway. If they hang around long enough, time gonna reveal that anyway. And that's what get a lot of fucking young kids in trouble. That's what kind of gravitate them towards gangs and shit. That's what gravitate them towards gangs. You know, peer pressure, not making your own decision as a man or as a young adult, not being a leader. If you do something, you do it on your own merit. Everybody respect that. You make a decision, you stick with it because it's your decision. Cool, you will be able to live with that. But trying to you know, but you know how it is. People feel like, especially as a gangster rapper, that you gotta prove that you gangster, you gotta prove that you this persona, you gotta prove that you tough, you gotta, man. Best thing you can do in that position is just prove that you just real. You solid. That's the number one thing you could be in the streets is solid. Don't owe nobody no money, they snitch on nobody, stay on code. That's the number one thing you can do. And stay solid. That's throughout life, as a coworker, as a husband, as a boyfriend, as a wife, as a daughter, as an uncle, as a nephew. That's the number one thing people respect about you is you solid. Man, I already know, man, he ain't gonna do no whole shit. You know what I'm saying? I already know he a bun. I already know he won't run off with the bag. I already know he wouldn't do nothing like this. Come on. Come on. That's the best thing. You just solid. You just solid. You just solid. A record deal, $1 million advance, $1 billion. Won't none of that change that. Won't none of that change that, bro. Ain't none of it buy it. That's why everybody think like DJ Academics talk about. Well, the old niggas ain't make no money, didn't do this. Money can't buy you integrity. Money can't buy you heart of gold. Money can't buy you being solid. Money can't buy you being real. A lot of people out here, y'all rolling with people who ain't real. All the women in the world, your dog want to keep lusting over your woman, want to cheat with your woman. Come on. You know what I'm saying? All the money out there, go get it. He wanted your money. He want to ask for money. Come on. It's crazy. Want to steal from you and shit like that. But if people feel the pressure, and as a gangster rapper, people feel that pressure to live up to that. G shared a similar sentiment during the conversation with Hot 97 the same day when he spoke on the Truth for Freddie Gibbs. CTE boss admitted that miscommunication ruined things between him and Gangsta Gibbs and realized he couldn't let his ego get in the best in those situations. It's about communicating, then your ego not leading. I'm really intentional about making sure that I reconnect with a lot of people, not no kumbaya, but just like I had love for you, and it was my wrongdoing reacting to what it did to me. Then he said, so I don't care about that. So nonetheless, man, that's maturity. That's what that is. That's maturity. Come on, niggas 50 years old still talking about the streets and still talking about, going to the club, listening to Lil Baby and shit. Nigga, you 40, 50 years old, bro. Come on, man, go get you a life partner or a wife and go to Frankie Beverly May's concert, nigga. Niggas 40 and 50 trying to wear skinny jeans and wear what the kids wear. Niggas trying to fit in and shit. Like, we still in high school, man. That shit don't matter no more. That's the tip that a lot of people still on. They trying to fit in. People the old niggas trying to fit in. Still in a 20-year-old club trying to fit in. Crazy. 80 years old and trying to fit in. And just looking out of place and looking stupid. But, you know, it is what it is. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe button, bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance of notifications. We go live, drop video. Financially, you want to support the channel, Cash App, $CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time. Good for the TV. Hit the link tree. You can find me literally everywhere. First link in the description. Peace.